Hello, everyone. It's Rick. It is April 17th, 2017. If you need to reach me, it's rick0327 at me.com. All right, what you see before you is an objection. Um, when you receive a response from these people to your paperwork, they're nine, you know, 10 out of 10 times they're going to deny it. And how you respond is very important because you have to let them know that you know what's going on, because they look down on all of us. They think that we're very stupid, and they are aware of the growing number of us on the internet learning this stuff. That's the reason why, like myself, I spoke with Amin Osiris. He gets attacked by trolls. We spoke one time on the phone, and we were comparing trolls that we've been blocking. So it's like, they're out there. Um, they're called Quatloo trolls. Quatloo, and it's a message board. And I've said this in the past, but I have new subscribers every week. I get about 100 extra subscribers. So if I repeat myself, I apologize, but not everybody's up to snuff. Anyway, what they do is they come on channels and they make comments, and they like to belittle the author of the video. They'll say, that stuff doesn't work. Oh, what are you gonna do? You're gonna question the flag with the frill on it? Because some videos point out, and it's true. If you watch TV now or television like TV, like in the news or television shows, you always see the American flag in the background with the gold frill around it. Well, you know what that is? That's the flag for maritime law. Okay, so little things like that, they sneak in there, and me personally, I wouldn't argue that. Okay, when I go into court, but there are people that have done it in the past, and you're letting the judge know from the beginning, what's going on. But that's so trolls will make fun of stuff like that. Uh, Trolls will make fun of, oh, what are you going to use? Common law? And yeah, you could use common law. We're in a common law country. Like me, I sprinkle, I'm a fusion. I sprinkle in common law and I sprinkle in their rules and stuff, because I've discovered that uh, I've tried using common law in the past and they ignore me. And listen to me, I'm not putting down common law. Trust me, I'm not. I just believe that, uh, I told you guys, I believe in ducking a punch. I try to avoid problems. I just want them to address our paperwork. So if I have to write it in such a way where, maybe I might cite their rules and stuff, again, I told you guys, I believe in using their rules against them. Okay, I remember 2 years ago, I was getting into the common law stuff, and the courts they're well aware of this, and they're just, because I told you about the ADL, the lawless ones. So what they do is they want to put you in a light that you're a nut, you're a conspiracy theorist, you're a nut, and they're not gonna address the common law. The other lawyer is not prepared for it, so uh, let's just stick to what we can fight with, and that's their rules and stuff. So if their rules state that you're supposed to have due process, which is under 45 CFR 303.101, subsection C2, I believe it is. It says that you're supposed to be provided due process. And again, if they don't provide due process, your support order is void. Okay, but let me get back to now. Let's talk about an objection here. All right, so a subscriber of mine up in Massachusetts, Bob Peretta, he told me I have permission to use this. So, and here's another thing, guys. I don't post things from subscribers unless I have permission. I would never do that to anybody. I would never put anybody's information out there. Okay, so but if I come across something, I asked for permission. He gave me permission, so here I am, and hopefully this will help somebody. Okay, so here we have here uh, one of my orders, and what he did was he wrote it in such a way that it fits him. Okay, and if you look up here, it's denied by this creature right here, this guy, this arrogant guy. And Bob told me he's arrogant, he's dismissive. You know, these guys think they're so smart. And he's the judge of the probate. And Bob is going through a divorce, and Bob's a fighter, Bob's a beast. Bob's not putting up with their bullshit. So they want Bob's financial information, and Bob's not giving it to them. So also Bob filed this, and this is the response, and it's denied. Okay? And as usual, the judge, well, I don't have the whole order. He just gave me the cover page, but it's denied without any reason, and that's what they do. So that's because they're so arrogant. They just want to see if you're going to go away. And you know what? Most people go away, but people subscribe to my channel. People subscribe to Amin Osiris' channel. People subscribe to other channels. We're fighters. Obviously, we're doing the research. We're looking to learn. Okay. Also, I don't like mentioning other channels. You know, obviously, Amin Osiris. Me and him are friends, so we will mention each other. But I don't like mentioning other channels because there are trolls out there that try and start fights. On Sunday, on my way out to eat, I'm going to eat dinner, and I get notified of any comments, and I'm driving through Midtown Manhattan, and this is like one of those troll comments that I had to address right away. So this troll comes on my channel, and he's like, "Hey Rick, remember a year?" Oh, and he goes, "Rick, I'm a subscriber," which that tells me he's not a subscriber. And he goes, "Remember a year ago when you said this guy," and I'm not going to say the guy's name, "common law doesn't work." I never said that. First of all, I don't mention other channels' names for that reason. Because I've been on YouTube for about 5 years now. I, you know, I was about to say I troll, but I search a lot of channels. I'm into a whole array of things, and I've been doing this for a while. And I know what a troll sounds like and what they're trying to do. And he was trying to discredit me, and he was trying to, try and start a war with me and this other guy for whatever reason. And this guy is not some guy that makes videos for child support. He's into to common law stuff, and it was a complete false. So what in the comment section, I'm like, all right, I go, obviously one, you're wrong because I never mention channels, and two, you're an idiot, you're a troll, and I just want everybody who may read this comment. This is what a troll looks and sounds like. He was a troll, classic troll, and and then I do, what I do to trolls? I block them. That's it. Goodbye. You're not gonna come troll my channel. So most of the trolls that are out there from that Quatlu channel I was talking about earlier, and what they do is they troll all the channels that are teaching you how to become how to defend yourself in court. They're all over. If you go on the channel, you'll see the same ones all the time, all the names. This guy Ret Squid, he's all over it. This other guy Foreign Source, FORENSO. He's another troll. They're all over the channels, and they start fights with people, and they belittle people, they mock them, and you know what you do? Ignore them, block them. Don't give them any, these 50 reply comments. Goodbye, cut them off. Don't even pay them any mind. You're smarter than them, leave them alone. I don't even argue with these morons because they're not worth it, because they're just there to try and discredit you and to make the author of the channel look stupid and sound stupid. This stuff works. Okay, I'm proof of it. I use my own method and I got my case vacated. Okay, and also I got respect when I go there. They're all scared of me when I go to the court. But also my paperwork works. And this, in front of you here, this is my, one of my paper, one of my my notices to the court. So Let me go back down here. Now this here, let me rotate view. This here is a response from this douchebag judge of the Justice of the Probate, Edward F. Donnelly. Now, of course, his ex-wife's attorney is asking for his financial records because Bob's not giving in. No, you're not getting my financial records. Why? So the state of Massachusetts can take my private property for public use. That's all they're looking for. I think this judge only cares about getting the information so they can create a support order, and the state of Massachusetts can get their 66%. That's what this is all about. They don't care about his ex-wife. They could care less about her. They don't care about people. They only care about dollars and meeting their quota. There's some whistleblowers out there who used to work in family court, and if you watch them on YouTube, I don't have any names, they're out there. And they work, and these judges and all of these people, they have mandates. They have to reach certain quotas. They got to be better than the quarter before. So that means they have to screw a lot of people. You got to be a certain kind of man or woman to come to work every day just to screw people out of their lives. I have people begging you to leave me alone. Can I have money? If you watch my video, I was talking to the judge. I got $7 in my pocket. I was practically begging this guy. I got $7 in my pocket. I really had 6 in my pocket. Not that 7 made any difference, but I really had 6 in my pocket. Okay? And these people, like that guy, I jousted with him and finally got him to, issue a stay. But it wasn't easy. Anybody watches the video, because they're protecting each other. Okay, so anyway, so now here he's issuing a subpoena Deuces Tecum, and he actually spelled it wrong. It's Duces, and let me find the definition here. Okay, subpoena Deuces Tecum is a writ ordering a person to attend court and bring the relevant documents. But it's a subpoena. It's not a warrant. Okay, so Bob's not going to follow this order because it's illegal. It's void. This judge doesn't have any authority to do this. Now, by the way, this response, let me fix this. Sorry, guys. The response here, it was a writ of quo warranto in there. He ignored it. Actually, he submitted paperwork for the writ of quo warranto, and of course, this guy, this judge, ignored it. Judges can't ignore that. Okay, on the public officer law, if you want to go on a good channel, Jeheretic, Jeheretic, and I'll put his link in the description. Somebody reached out to me. He's like, "Hey Rick, could you put the description in the box? I'm tired of looking all over YouTube." Okay, because when I do my, little video blog when I'm driving in my car, it's not really scripted. I upload the video, whatever. Sometimes maybe it's good for you to look for these things. That's how you learn. But he's right, so I'm going to honor his request. So, on his channel, he shows what a writ of quo warranto is, and the guy was in prison, and he must have found out about it in the law library, filed it, and the Florida Court of Appeals denied him. Now, here's the reason why, and this is why it's important that we do it. The Florida Court of Appeals said it's a growing the use of the writ of quo warranto, though uncommon, and is growing in use. In other words, the court is recognizing that you're allowed to use it. You're allowed to use a writ of quo warranto, and what you're using it for is to get the public officer oath of the judge to see if that judge, he or she, is qualified to, to sit on the bench to hear your matter or referee the trial. And also to see the public officer oath, and see if it's recorded. If they don't have a public officer oath recorded in in the the required clerk's office, which is usually the county. From what I understand, in Massachusetts, it's the county where the judge lives. Now, I want to. How are you going to find out? What I find out is address, but I don't know. That's another fight or whatever, another logistic problem. But in Massachusetts, under general law, they're supposed to have an oath and a seal filed in the clerk's office in the county where they live. Now, guess what? If they don't have that there, all their orders are void. So, maybe a lot of these judges, they don't have it. So if you're able to find this stuff out, that's why we had to do the writ of quo warranto. But getting back to the Florida Court of Appeals, what they said was he did not bring it up during the trial. So he forfeited it. He waived it. So this is the reason why we have to do this. And you have to stick to it. Because they don't want you to do this. Listen, these judges obviously are not impartial like they're supposed to be. We all know that already. They obviously they don't take their oath seriously. They're not there for us. We know that. So we have to put them to their oath. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. Go watch his video. He's a good guy. He's a funny guy. A lot of channels sprout up from watching him. I'm one of them. There's one guy, Cop Watch Hawaii. He's another good guy. But he changes the channel name. I don't know what it is now. Anarchist or something. But, watching his channel is very simple. But it shows how important the writ of quo warranto is. And I told you in my last video about, why I did it. And you know what? He was right. I filed the writ of quo warranto, and a week later I get something in the mail to go to court. Pretty fast. And all my other things in the past, they ignored. And I tried everything, guys. That's why what you're getting from me, when I say you're getting a fusion of what worked for me. And I tried everything. I would do that. I am not entering into a contract with you. And they did probably, when they go, oh, look what he's writing now this week. Because every time I submit paperwork, I'm doing this. I'm doing UCC one week. I'm doing that. And they're just laughing. But it wasn't until I did a writ of quo warranto they took me serious. And also, I let the judge know that, you don't have any subject matter jurisdiction. And without subject matter jurisdiction, you could be sued. When else they could be sued? If they don't have a public office oath recorded with a surety bond. They don't have that, they could be sued. All right, so let me get to the objection. So what I put together for him, and what I'm doing now with the objection, I'm just putting objection. I'm not going to let them know everything from now on. Somebody said, listen, if you want to fight child support, you don't have, the best way to do it is don't let the clerk know you're doing it. So what you do is you put it in the body of your affidavit, which is pretty smart. So, all right, on the date, Robert Peretta is objecting to Edward F. Donnelly's denial dismissal of demand to vacate for failure to provide clarification of evidence. See, what they do is they dismiss it and they don't explain why. Well, they have to. Okay, judges are supposed to give you the reasons why. Like, what I do now is, what I tell them, I'm like, well, when you clarify, please clarify the exhibit, the evidence, the exhibit that was marked, whether A, B, 1, 2, whatever it is, and what day it was introduced. What we're doing is we're really pushing them now. Please show me the evidence that you used to make this decision. Because judges, this is not, and by the way, these are summary judgments by these judges. Because what they're doing is he's being denied a trial by jury. One guy got a response. He sent me paperwork in California, and he brought up I was denied a trial by jury, and the response was, well, California Code 123, I don't know what it is, but says that child support matters do not require trial by jury. Well, you know what that is? That's what that person did right there, judge or commissioner, whatever the hell it was, I forget. You got to remember, I get stuff hit at me all day, so I can't remember everything. I told you, I get 30 to 40 emails a day. Anyway, what that person was admitting to was a violation of the 14th Amendment. Okay, there's a decision, Hokie versus Henderson, that says that any state law that violates a guarantee in the Bill of Rights is unlawful. It's unconstitutional. So there's a shitload of unconstitutional state laws out there that are depriving us just in family court or court of common appeals, uh, superior court, all these, or this court, probate court. These courts are using them all the time, and it's up to us to let them know. Okay? Objection. Edward F. Donnelly refused to comply with a lawful demand to show authority and jurisdiction by writ of quo warranto. That's a lawful demand. And I just gave you the reason why we got to stick to them. Because if you don't and you let it go, you're waiving your rights. Without proof of authority and jurisdiction, all orders and papers from Edward F. Donnelly are void. They're void. So what I start doing now, because he didn't show Bob his authority, I'm calling him an alleged judge. We don't know he's a judge. How do we know he's a judge? Okay, that is a little rambling right here, but whatever. This objection and demand by writ of quo warranto, a common law writ, in a common law republic. We're a republic, by the way. They keep calling us democracy. We're a republic. Remember, for those of us, those that are like 40 and over, like myself, when I was a kid, we used to have to say the pledge allegiance to the flag. The United States of America, to the republic for which it stands. They don't want anybody to know it's a republic. The people running the media. There's 6 media companies, 6 corporations running the media in the world. Okay? So we're not being given good information. That's why people like myself and all you guys, we're on YouTube. Okay? Thank God for YouTube. But you got to be careful of YouTube too. There's a lot of people that they're giving bad information. Okay. Republic is demanding proof of authority to issue papers alleging to be subpoena. So see, he got me too. I'm following him. His bad spelling, and I copied it. Deuces tecum. And that's another thing. It's a subpoena. He's got to be using Latin. These guys are funny. To inspect personal papers in an effort to seize personal property for public use for state of Massachusetts to receive federal funds under Title 4D, 42 U.S.C. Section 658A. Okay? Now, in the Constitution, all Constitution, state, federal Constitution, United States Constitution, they're not allowed to take your property for public use unless they provide compensation. Now, they're getting this 66% for every dollar they steal by forcing us to pay support through their system under the guise of child support, but really what it is a recoupment of welfare funds. That's all it is. It's nothing but a big fraud. Okay? And what they're doing is they're getting 66%, all right? And the state's allowed to use that money for whatever they want. So really what they're doing is they're lying when they're saying that the money they're taking from you for child support is for the children. That's the way they write it up anyway. Oh, children who receive support, blah, 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 they grow up to be healthy, happy, whatever. It's all bullshit. They're using children as a sympathy device. To, like those commercials when I change the channels. These poor children with cancer and they put them on television. And by the way, you do what you want. Look into that one day if you want about charities. Rarely does the money ever get to where for what it was purposed to do. So, though you may be feeling good about yourself, for a charity, just be wise that a lot of time there are a lot of families that do charities, and it's a family-run business all over the place. And the charities, like 2% of the money reach what they're supposed to do. And there's no law that says how much they're supposed to give. So let's say you're giving somebody $100, $2 might actually make it, for cancer research. The other 98 is used for administrative fees. Okay? But child support, they're taking your money. It's to get federal money, right? Taking private property, that's your property, and for public use, right? For the state to receive federal funds. Are you being compensated? No. You're being thrown into the poorhouse. All right. This objection is hereby presented to Edward F. Donnelly, an alleged judicial actor, right? I said that. An alleged public officer, right? We don't know. He won't provide us his information, so he's an alleged public officer who is required by a subscription under General Law, Part 3, Title 1, Chapter 22, Section 5, oath, seal to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and Massachusetts. That's his undertaking. They call it here a subscription, but it's an undertaking that he's supposed to support and defend the Constitution. Obviously, he's not. So what I told Bob to do is to start looking in the clerk's office for this public bond or his seal here. Okay, now, on February 8th, 2017, Edward F. Donnelly issued a void judgment called the subpoena Ducis Tecum in an effort to seize personal papers and financial information in an effort to seize personal property for public use. On March 13, 2017, Edward F. Donnelly denied a notice to the court to provide equal protection of the law by vacating support order that was without due process, without equal protection of the law, I said that already, and lastly, created without authority and jurisdiction. What we're doing here is we're letting him know that we know what's up. And when he reads this, he's going to know Bob's not a moron. He probably knows that already, okay? But Bob's putting this guy he's going to be pushing this guy. We'll see what happens. Okay, objection. Edward F. Donnelly was commanded by a writ of quo warranto to provide evidence of his authority and jurisdiction. And he denied without clarification of evidence in support of his denial. He just issued, denied. No reason. Or they do the all without merit nonsense. Okay? Mr. Donnelly may not realize it, or maybe he believes Robert Peretta cannot read and comprehend the plain wording of the Massachusetts and United States Constitution requiring a trial by jury in controversies at common law controversies at common law for controversies of $20 or more. I did that from memory, so if I screwed it up, it's not a big deal. He knows what it means. It also shows we're not cutting and pasting. Okay, the plain language also states that under the 14th Amendment, there could be no state laws that deprives guarantees in the Bill of Rights, such as the 7th Amendment guarantee to a trial by jury, to prevent denials without clarification of evidence by an alleged judicial actor whose salary is partially or wholly paid by federal funds received from establishment and enforcement of child support under 42 U.S.C. Section 650.43, okay? And I'm going to stop there because you get the idea where I'm going. But what we're doing here is we're letting him know that, one, he cannot issue a subpoena without evidence. First of all, he's got to show proof of authority and jurisdiction. He hasn't done any of that yet. Also, we're showing him that Bob is not a moron by telling him, listen, I know how to read. Okay, I don't need a law degree to comprehend the English language. And you have to do your job. And you have to do your job because under general law, you under oath seal, you swore to support and defend the Constitution. And you're going to hold him to that. Okay? So this shows you guys, just because you receive something in the mail by these creeps, you can file an objection, and this is how you do it. You hold their feet to the fire. They're not your friends. Don't be afraid of these people. Okay? They're not your friends. That's why I'm calling him Mr. Donnelly. I'm calling him, you notice I haven't called him, and here's another pet peeve of my guys. Stop calling them honorable in your paperwork. They're not honorable people. If they were honorable, we wouldn't be in this position. And honorable is a title of nobility. They use that to intimidate you. Okay? Don't be intimidated. They're not going to jail you, especially if you know your rights. They only jail people who don't know their rights and who have lawyers who won't tell them their rights. All right, so listen, I hope you guys learned something here. Remember, okay, trolls suck. Block them. And, and object. And if you need me, Rick0327@me.com. All right, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day.